example, maybe you guys have met a certain situation when a person uses a very strong accent and you cannot stand the accent because you are having difficulty trying to listen. Like the accent keeps on hurting you. You can't bear with it. So when that happens, language barriers became prominent. Okay. So for example, this is very normal. You might really hate my accent right now, and it's really normal. People don't really like certain people with certain accents. It's very normal. Like if you go overseas, there are people who really hate certain accents, and the moment if they hate your accents, they don't really want to talk to you anymore. so you, but it's something that we cannot control, right? It's not something that people can control because we come from different diverse background and different way of developing our language. So how and then when we talk about accents, it's a very strong sound. If you compare between UK English versus American English, you can hear the difference. Some people think UK accents is sexy. Some people think American accent is better. So, and sometimes those accents can interpret different messages. For example, maybe you look at a person, why is she trying to use this accent? Because you have, we relate that with the psychological barriers, okay? So that person has an accent, you hear the accent, and psychologically, you think that person should not try to fake it. I think in Malaysia, there are people who think like that, where you think that person, she's a Chinese or she's an Indian or she's a Malay, and then she's using English. And if she's using English, okay, she or he is, for you psychologically, in your belief, she's being arrogant. So you already make a judgment about other people. But I think you all have to really remember, Malaysia is a very, very diverse country. People can actually grow up in using English as a first language, and the accents can naturally carry over by their parents. It's not being arrogant, but it's just the brought up, right? But because our preconceived notion of English in certain societies, we might judge people differently. So then that create a lot of barriers, right? I still remember when I was young. So I wouldn't say I'm native like because I'm not native like. My mother tongue Chinese does influence my accent, so it's very, very strong. People know I'm a Chinese, but English was my strongest language. Although Chinese was a bit uh, backwards, right? So I could not help it to speak Chinese weirdly. So that accent, my Chinese accent, definitely make people, they shake their head. And then you automatically there are a lot of ways how accents can actually make people judge you, and that become a lot of barriers between the relationship that you want to build, right? So, and it causes you to misjudge other people. So these are just some sharing, okay? Yeah, okay. So slang, jargon, okay, my dear students. Sometimes you guys have really good slang. I think I did not know what is sus, yeah, until one of my students taught me. So you see how that become a barrier between us. But fortunately, I really like to ask questions, so I know what is that later on.